What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, we've got a big one for you. This is going to be a massive video, or at least it feels like it's going to be a massive video. It is really heading into the Mercato, to the January Mercato. It's full steam ahead. That's the easiest way for me to really give you a hint of what this video is about, but it's just every bit of news that you want when it comes to the Juventus Mercato. Coming in January is what we're talking about. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Friday, November 12th, 2021, and of course I have your latest rundown of all things Juventus. Before we do anything, let's go ahead and do the regular stuff. We gotta get this out of the way. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, and then hit that bell icon and stay notified for all of our latest videos. Also, let me go ahead and get this out of the way later, now, so I don't have to do it later. And go ahead down here in the graphics below us, I guess it's really this side, go ahead and follow us on all of our social media accounts. Obviously, Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Myself at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Alejandro Fancello at Alejandro BZ. And, of course, Julian Genotti at Genotti151. Now, let's just go ahead and just jump into what we have for you when it comes to the news. First off, we're talking about Tutto Mercato Web is talking about the club has assured Allegri that he will get reinforcement in January. Players that can play the football Max wants to play. Now, this is interesting to me. Obviously, it's the very first one. I'm not going to go and talk in depth on each one. Well, I probably will, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible. But basically, my feelings when it comes to this one is this one's a big deal because sometimes I thought maybe potentially Juventus may not get anybody in the January window just because so much is predicated on the idea of having to sell players first. But if they promise Allegri that he's going to get a reinforcement in January, that intrigues me, and it makes me wonder, who could this potential target be? Is there a certain specific player they think that he's going to get reinforcement? Or, and when I say that, like, obviously, the likes of Chouameni, whatever, who I don't think are going to be sold in January, but Witsel, whatever, Zakaria, I don't know why I'm still listing on names, but maybe this could also lean toward the thought of Rovella returning in January to help reinforce that midfield and what they need there. So that's why I stick there. Let me know who you think might be the one that they're really going to bring in January. Moving on, let's go. Corriere dello Sport has basically talking about keeping a plan B to Vlahovic for Juventus. Juventus have sent some emissaries to Buenos Aires to closely follow Julian Alvarez. And of course, Julian Alvarez was the big story we talked about yesterday of Juventus going to war against Fiorentina on multiple fronts. They said Julian Alvarez, who is climbing up the list of Cherubini's favorites. The player contract expires in December of 2022, and he's already turned down an offer to renew his contract, so he wants to get on the move. He is aiming for the World Cup, and Juve must guarantee him important minutes in order to get him to the World Cup, obviously playing for his team. For the moment, the Bianconeri are gathering information. There's competition from Fiorentina and other international teams. As expected, we talked about this yesterday. If for some reason the Vlahovic deal doesn't work out, then you can go after him. He seems to be, maybe he's a solid option. I don't know. I mean, actually, I don't know. I can't really speak on that. You guys let me know. I know some people were saying he seems a bit small to play that position. So I don't have a lot on this kid, but he's definitely a name to keep an eye on. Anyway, let's move on from that. We talked about it yesterday. You can watch yesterday's video if you want more on him. Let's move on to also Tutto Sports talking about it, saying Juve's interest in Darwin Nunez is serious. The club knows that talking with Benfica will be difficult, but he's considered a serious option. So definitely, as well as Julian Alvarez, you also have Darwin Nunez being another Plan B option for Juventus. I don't know if either of these names really will get Juventus fans nearly as excited as the idea of bringing in, obviously Dusan Vlahovic and where he is as a player currently. But anyway, just another name to continue monitoring for the situation. Nicolo Schira has an update regarding Juventus's plan in the Mercato, saying Juventus are working to sign 2 midfielders between January and the summer. Besides Aaron Ramsey, Arthur and Rodrigo Bentancur are also among transferable players in the next transfer window. Just really quick hit thoughts, my thoughts on this. Of course, Aaron Ramsey. Arthur kind of surprises me because I feel like he probably should get a little bit more more playing time. I think he's a better midfielder than what we have from a lot of guys. But of course, right now you've been playing Weston McKennie in his role as a player who definitely has been shining right now. I know a lot of you, and in the comments or whatever have you, or the some biased members of the Bianconeri zone are basically saying that Weston McKennie, even what he's doing right now, isn't good enough. But I'll be honest, he's been probably our best midfielder for the last 4 or 5 games, so it makes sense why Archer's not playing right now. Rodrigo Bentancur, the one thing I'll say is really just another topic of the deal, the way it's worked out with Boca Juniors. At this point, just if you have to, you have to move on from it, because he's really not really adding anything to Juventus at the current moment. Now, of course, we can get into everybody's favorite topic, and that is Federico Bernardeschi. And Calcio Mercato is saying that Raiola will discuss Bernardeschi's new deal very soon. Juventus have offered 2.5 million euros to the 4 million euros he is earning currently. Berna would like at least 2 more years on his contract compared to the offer. He is also not willing to lower his wages that much. Again, we've talked about this so many days in, days out. To me, I think only if Bernardeschi will agree to the 2.5 million euros. Even then, I think it might be a little bit more than I would expect, or that I really think he's valued at currently, just because he hasn't done all that much outside of being a guy who, I know lots of fans would like to say you can plug in him and play him. Yeah, you plug him into multiple different places that he can play. Not well, but he can play them. He's not playing great. He's not doing anything special for Juventus, so I don't really get that line of thinking. But anyway, as it stands right now, 2.5 million euros. If he's not willing to come down to that, if they want to give him 2 years at 2.5 mil, I can be swayed into that. But I'd say 4 mils if he wants 4 or 3. I don't think he's worth that currently, to be honest. Which is it is what it is. Romeo Agresti, though, had a lot of comments that he had to make talking about the different contracts today. They basically said there have been no contact between Juventus and Mino Raiola to talk about an extension for Bernardeschi, neither with Brancini, Fortescilio, nor with Palin's agents. None of these really super surprised me, to be honest, when it comes to Bernardeschi. Of course, Raiola, you want to have good relationships with him because of the different players that he has out there in the Mercato each and every year. But then when it comes to Descilio is one that I could see maybe having some updates with, because he's played solid when he's not injured. He's played solid this year. Palin, we all know what Palin wants. He wants to be the starter. I don't even know if Juventus, when I say right now, like the reason they probably haven't reached out to him is because he probably has no interest in renewing with Juventus. His interest is going to be to find another club. All right, let's move on. Daniel Longo is saying that contacts are ongoing with Tottenham for Kulusevski, so that'd be an interesting move. We talked about it a lot yesterday. Of course, Julian keeps getting the lives that are perfect for him. First, he gets the Pogba line, and then he gets the Kulusevski out. It's exactly what he wants. But overall, with Kulusevski going to Tottenham is a possibility. Antonio Conte going in there trying to get him, being interested in him. Obviously, he's interested in him. Then you're going to have Paratici, who's at Tottenham, who could get his player that he brought in there. It would work out for all parties. I would imagine Kulusevski, being a Swedish player, probably wouldn't have anything against going to play for the Premier League. Of course, I think a lot of people would love to play there. I know some don't, but I think that could be a beneficial move for him. Honestly, though, would I rather keep him? I'm torn, because you look at the options of where you need money, where you need to open up space for different players to come in, and it's really difficult for me. It's a battle that I'm waging with myself when it comes to Kulusevski in his future, because I've been honest, and I really do think there is a ton of untapped potential there for him, just waiting to break out. So we'll see what happens there. Going on about Kulusevski, we have Gazzetta dello Sport reporting the feeling is that Kulusevski is not yet settled into Allegri's plans. If an offer comes, he could leave. Besides the Premier League teams, he's also like the Fiorentina. Only thing I can see with Fiorentina is if maybe Juventus tries to cool the waters and tries to be friendly or whatever have you with Fiorentina and be like, hey, if we can get Vlahovic, we'll work out a deal with you. Or they could be out, a loan offer, something like that, where he can go out there and play a little bit at Fiorentina. We'll see. We'll monitor that. But I don't know if the way I'm trying to think, the hostile nature that Fiorentina and Comiso have really gone about talking about Juventus. If that doesn't change, then I wouldn't be super super happy about really doing anything to help them personally. All right. Then we can go on talking about McKinney. Like I said, I know, guys, there's a lot to this video. It's a long one, and I'm trying to get through it as quickly as possible so you can get all the info that you really need. Then we're talking about Weston McKennie. Gazzetta dello Sport saying that Conte likes McKinney, and an offer could be made to Juventus. Juventus will take it into consideration if the offer is good enough. So, just throwing that out there. Not really. I don't really have a lot to really talk about there when it comes to my thoughts. I like Weston McKennie and what he's done lately. But I also realize that there's a lot of down moments in his, this last season from the beginning of the year to whatever until the last 5 games. He wasn't doing a lot. So if he does go, it's business. It is what it is. At the same time, I don't really love helping Antonio Conte, if I'm being honest. anytime anything can be done positive for Conte, I'd rather not at this point. I am that guy who holds grudges. Let's continue on. Romeo Negresti, like I said, he had comments to make today, so we're going to keep going on those. He's talking about Weston McKennie here, saying McKennie could have left in the summer. Juventus never evaluated loan offers, but if a permanent offer had come in, Juve would have thought about it, even during the last summer. If one between Ramsey and McKennie had gone, I think Witsel could have been a great chance to come to as a second name behind Locatelli. So just some opening up of what really went down in the Mercato, of course, last summer. I think we had a pretty good feeling on a lot of this, but as it stands, obviously Witsel's a name that's coming back up, and Witsel was a name that could have been there in the summer. But anyway, so let's keep an eye on that name for this January Mercato as well. So we'll see if Witsel ends up becoming another hot name. Let's continue on with Witsel though, and Romeo Negresti is saying that Witsel is not yet a very hot name though. So I just said hot name, and then here we go. It's not a very hot name, and it's not said that he will become so. We need to keep him on the list of opportunities for Juve. Obviously, the way the Juventus Mercato wants to work out, or at least the Juventus management wants to work it out, is they want to go after younger guys. Allegri likes him, but he's old. We don't need a lot of older guys. I understand. Maybe we're getting at a point, though, where we have enough younger guys that it wouldn't hurt to bring in an old or two. But to be honest, as it stands right now, I'd rather continue on trying to get another younger midfielder option. Zakaria, obviously Tchouaméni, Pogba, of course, who is not the youngest, but Pogba is Pogba, so it's a little bit different than Witsel, personally, to me. Continuing on. That sounds like I keep saying this, but we're continuing on. Tutto Sport is talking about Juventus seem to be following Boubacar Kamara, and this is a name that I brought up a long time ago. It feels like it's been a couple months since the last time I mentioned Boubacar Kamara. Born in 1999 with increasing interest for January. Gosh, 1999, that makes me feel so old right now. I was born in 1990 for clarification, so it seems weird every time. I know that even 1999 now is not like that young either. With increasing interest for January, the midfielder who can also play center back as a free agent in the summer, and that's where the interest is really going to be kind of interesting, or that's where it's interesting for me, at least when I say that, is because of Juventus's current struggles, or maybe not struggles per se, but their current situation when it comes to midfielders being injured. Not Locatelli, I don't know why I was going to Locatelli, Chiellini, Bonucci, and then you're stuck there with Rugani. Obviously, De Ligt needs to be playing every second of every game, as long as he wants to, as long as he's healthy. So that's where I am right there with that situation. Currently, I would say maybe for Boubacar, it would be interesting for center back. Let me know your all thoughts in the comment section down below, now that we're talking about a little bit of a different name. Now, Corriere dello Sport is talking about Rabiot, saying Newcastle is ready to get serious about Adrien Rabiot, which is good news for Juventus. The club would be willing to accept an offer of 10 to 15 million euros. Newcastle's offer for the Frenchman could arrive as early as January. So that'd be another interesting name. We talked about, obviously, Aaron Ramsey. Now, Adrien Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot has a little bit more cachet than obviously Aaron Ramsey would in the situation, so that could be interesting if he wants to go there. That would be a good out for him to go play. Continuing, Gazzetta dello Sport is saying Juventus will try to find a solution for Ramsey in January. Many options are open, along with an option to buy or terminating his contract. He is the first on the list to leave in January, and I don't know what else I can really say in this situation. It's just Ramsey out. It's been Ramsey out since what? Since whatever time last, I don't know, May, whatever, maybe before then, really, if we're being honest. It's been longer than that. But anyway, it's been Ramsey out for a while now. Gazzetta dello Sport continues, saying that Bentancur and Sandro are also no longer untouchable, as they were a few years ago. The club is open to listening to any offers. Bentancur, of course, we talked a little bit earlier in the show today, talking about his situation, that he can move on, and I completely understand that. Sandro's a little bit more, I don't want to say, I guess is a little bit more surprising, just giving the amount of need at that position currently in the way it stands. I would be surprised to see him be moved unless there's like some insane offer that we really get. I don't see it happening. But as it stands right now, Bentancur makes more sense trying to move, even if you're having to pay out Boca Juniors, whatever it is with that clause. And Gazzetta dello Sport continues, talking about Morata now. Juventus still need to decide whether they're going to pay the 35 million euros for Morata. However, because Simeone does not want him anymore, the club is trying to lower the price. Obviously, trying to barter with him as much as they can, because otherwise, it's like he's going back to you. If not, do you want him? Do you want him? Otherwise, you want to lower that price a little bit. So we'll see how long this lasts, how long this debate it is for Morata's worth and how much they want monetarily for him. But as it stands right now, I personally think 35 million euros is a little too much for Morata. Hopefully they can lower that down. Maybe you can get it to about 25 or something like that. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Then we got to talk about Arthur again. And this is also Gazzetta dello Sport. I want to make sure I hit on my sources when I'm doing it. Arthur, due to the transfer fee paid, could only move with a swap deal. So that's interesting. This is a little bit of a tidbit there about his situation. The only way that he can be moved is within a swap deal. So we'll have to monitor to see what options arise when it comes to Arthur and who may have interest in him, but also at the same time have something of value for Juventus. Now we get to the next one. And guess who it is? It's Gazzetta dello Sport again, talking about De Winter. Ajax have set their sights, or is Ajax? I guess Ajax, not Ajax. Ajax have set their sights on Coney De Winter, but at the moment there is no negotiation. Allegri has said the opportunity to see him at work on several occasions. He appreciates him a lot. Juventus want to keep him and work out a plan for him to develop in the future. And I know what you guys are thinking right now. You're thinking, or why is he not being played right now, Allegri? Why are you not using him? And like why not? Why we need young guys to play. We need all these young guys to play. Why are they not playing?
I get asked questions like, well, how important is it for the young guys to get to play this week? Well, how in the hell do you know they're going to get to play? I mean, what makes you think that you can just assume that they're going to get to play?
Anyway, yes, exactly. Thank you, Nick Saban. And those are my thoughts exactly. What makes you think that these youth players are going to be able to play? Why should they be even starting for Juventus's first team? It's a little bit ridiculous, but at the same time, if he can be of use down the line, we'll see how it works out for him. I don't really have an opinion. I mean, maybe he could be good and solid. I know a lot of people like him. Of course, they want to see a lot of youth players work out when it comes to Juventus. But to be honest, it's just not what Juventus has been doing lately. Maybe Juventus has been doing some things wrong. I don't know. But overall, when it comes to Juventus, it's not really a place of success as of late. So we'll see. I know, Fajoli, whatever, you guys keep bringing it up. We'll see what happens. Let's move on to the last topic of the day. We're finally here at the last topic. And I know it was a long video, like I said. We are talking about Chiellini, and this one's Tutto Sport. It's not Gazzetta dello Sport anymore. Tutto Sport's reporting that Chiellini will miss the game against Lazio and possibly also the Chelsea game as he's still injured. And within that recovery, we'll see how long that takes for him. But it could be multiple weeks that he is out. If not, we'll see. It would be a big loss to not have him for the Chelsea game because mainly, obviously, you don't need the points. You're good to go. You're locked in, whatever, when it comes to the elimination round for Chelsea. Or I guess not elimination, but you know what I mean. The final group or whatever, 16. But it would be a big deal for the money that you could be making off of these games by winning and succeeding in that realm. So that would be a big loss, a big hole to fill if you don't have at least Bonucci healthy to play alongside De Ligt in those matches. Anyway, finally, I can take a breath for a second. It's finally over. that's the show for today. That's all the news I have for you today, bundled up. I know the one name that I really missed out was there was no Pogba news today. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm sure there'll be more Pogba news in the future, but otherwise, it was pretty in-depth with the amount of names and the amount of news that we had breaking down. If you have any questions, any thoughts that you would like to know, or if you want to, like I said, if you have any thoughts about any of the topics we talked about today, leave it in the comment section down below. As well as if you're new to the channel, leave a comment down below letting us know where you're from, how you became a Juve fan, and just so we can welcome you to the Bianconeri zone. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and also make sure you hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.